Senator Ernst.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Chair and Ranking Member. It is good to be back on the committee after a hiatus for many years. Good afternoon, Mr. Vought. Thank you for the really robust discussion yesterday. I truly appreciate that. And thanks for being here. You were here 6.5 years ago as well, and I do remember that as your kids had been sitting behind you during that as well. And one of my colleagues had very inappropriately questioned you on your faith as part of your first confirmation hearing before the Senate. And I just want to commend you because during that period, you handled yourself with extraordinary grace. And so I truly appreciate that. And I just want to be on the record as stating that I think people of all faiths should have a place in the public square. But thank you so much, and what a great example for your children. As the chair of the Senate DOGE Caucus, I look forward to working with you to make government more transparent, accountable, and efficient. And it's impossible to achieve these goals, though, if we don't even know how Washington is spending our tax dollars. During my time in the Senate, I've passed numerous laws to do just this. One requires the Department of Transportation to report all projects that are $1 billion over budget or 5 years or more behind schedule. Another requires the Pentagon to put a public price tag on all R&D projects funded with taxpayer dollars. Despite numerous laws being passed, these were passed and signed into law, agencies have been completely ignoring the mandates. And likewise, the bipartisan law that originated in this committee requiring all government spending to be disclosed in a searchable public website, usaspending.gov, is being circumvented by bureaucrats who are hiding billions of dollars of secret spending awarded as other transaction agreements, or OTAs, from USA Spending. As director, what actions are appropriate to compel agencies and recipients of taxpayer dollars to comply with these laws, and how will you prioritize ensuring compliance?
It's a great question, Senator. It's one that we will definitely take note of and make sure that we are, when we're setting up on the management side, these apparatuses, but also on the budget side that works intimately with the agencies, that they're not allowed to get away with these types of gimmicks.
Okay, and I look forward to working with you. Will you also require agencies to start reporting OTAs to usaspending.gov?
We will definitely abide by the law and make sure the spirit of the law is executed as well.
And that is the spirit of the law. Thank you. In the years since COVID, our nation's capital has remained a ghost town as private companies of all sizes from coast to coast have called their employees back to the office. Some federal employees allegedly come to their D.C. offices so infrequently that the calendars in their cubicles are still flipped to the March 2020 page. That's why it's entirely unsurprising that GAO found federal government headquarter buildings are operating at an average occupancy rate of just 12%. Meanwhile, I recently published a report on federal telework, which I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, which details some truly shocking statistics, and my staff will hand you a copy of this as well, Mr. Vought. Before COVID, just 3% of employees eligible to telework did so. Now, 6% of those employees say they report in person on a full-time basis. 6% showing up for work every day. Depending on the agency, between 23 and 68% of surveyed teleworking employees are boosting their salaries by receiving incorrect locality pay. Some employees claim to be working in D.C. while living more than 2,000 miles from their office. As you are aware, the Office of Management and Budget holds the critical responsibility of ensuring the federal workforce delivers meaningful results for the American people. Strong leadership from your office to correct the Biden administration's asleep-at-the-wheel approach to federal workforce management would send a very powerful and much-needed message to the rest of the government. To this end, I will ask a few key questions. First, will you share your daily schedule with the public?
Yes.
Congress has a set 60% utilization goal for your headquarters building and the headquarters building of each federal agency. What steps will you take to get each agency to meet Congress's goal?
Well, I think we're going to make it a priority, and obviously you've heard through your DOGE leadership with the leadership of the president's DOGE that this is a major area that they're looking at. We're going to be looking at ways that OMB can come along beside and ask the right questions, both on the management and the budget side, to get a sense for how our agencies monitoring their own employees that might be benefiting from the DC pay rate when they're not living in D.C. So part of it is having a theory of the case, which we clearly have, to do that oversight and then to get into these roles and to figure out where we are on a day-to-day granular basis and then figure out what can be done about it.
Very good. And what would your plan be to get federal employees, including those that are covered by collective bargaining agreements, to show up for work?
Well, we're going to take a look at the collective bargaining agreements. Obviously, we're aware of the extent to which the Biden administration is locking in or attempting to bind the Trump administration with these CBAs that last an extended period of time. I don't have anything to announce other than to agree with you that it's a concerning phenomena and one that we are looking at very closely.
Very good. And I have a number of other questions as well. We went through a number of these yesterday in my office. I truly appreciate that. I could go on and on and on. I would encourage everyone, if you would like a copy, we may have some extra. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, Mr. Vought, and I look forward to your confirmation and to working with you on these issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Ernst.